Are we live?
I mean, we are now.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea if any of that got in.
We can dream, can't we? We can dream. Brian,
Why you're quoting? I mean, I know I'm wearing a John Lennon hat, but you're quoting John Lennon. It doesn't seem metal enough for you.
Metal hadn't been invented yet.
you can't kill the. You can kill the dreamer, Brian, but you can't kill the dream.
Do you think John Lennon would have been a metalhead if he was
Oh,
born
absolutely.
later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The White Album version of Revolution, that thing kind of rocks.
I
Helter
like
Skelter, that shit's jams, man.
I like to headbang.
Yeah.
I can't do a John Lennon impression.
I like to headbang.
There you go. Great thumbnail, Brian. I love the thumbnail. I love the title too.
You can go
The
to hell.
Oasis.
You can go to hell.
It's so good. I love it.
All right, let's get this show started. We've tortured these people long enough. This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I don't know which one of those days today is, but I'm sure it's one of them because we're here, and so are you guys, and you guys are both here too. My name is Brian Pop, and this channel right here, PSVR without Parole, and the guys to my right, the boys! Dave from Dave Station, R.
That's me.
It's only funny because there was such a long delay. And the guy, of course, on the right-hand side of the screen is AJ from Underground, PSVR, Underground.
Don't be fooled. I may not have an aim controller in the vicinity of the window, but they are here and they are ready. So watch yourself.
I have a broken Quill statue in the vicinity because Tornado took after Carlos.
Oh.
Yep. And
See-
she had to climb. She literally, so she's not allowed. This is the one place she's not allowed. She's not allowed on my desk, right? My computer desk. She's not allowed here. But so it's of course the one place. I'm watching you. She likes to go. The second I turn my back, and she had to not only get up on the desk, but she had to climb all the way up here, where it's way out of the way. Boom! I heard it crash down on the floor. It was in like 3 pieces. It's gonna require a little bit of glue, guys. A little bit of glue.
Oh, so mine was unfixable. The parts that broke got so small and like the pieces shattered in such a way where I just couldn't even put it back together. It was all Humpty Dumpty'd. And I had to
This
trash
is
it.
why you
All
need
the
to
king's
give me-
horses and all the king's men. Oh.
Give me your GunCon 2 collection before it gets hurt, Brian. I will keep it safe. I have Ninja Gaiden and Castlevania 3, and don't have a piece of dust on them.
Everything here is covered in dust and cat hair. Shout out to Jeppy Condal with the $5 tip. Didn't say a word, but we love you anyway, man. I think he's watching later, so hopefully just say something now. Right here. This is your space in the future. Go ahead, Jeppy. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? He
that's
said
my-
it so loud. Like we heard it in the past.
Jeppy's a local homegrown game cat, man. I'm going to come
Homegrown?
visit you one day, Jeppy.
Like they put him in the ground. You watered him. A little bit of sunlight. Yeah? Okay.
He's the hydroponic game cat.
He's the hydroponic game cat.
Somebody should definitely make that their name.
I kind of want to be the hydroponic game cat. Mad Max Stone, the game cat with the $5 tip, says, Papa Mad Max still in the hospital and recovering. I said, thanks to the cat for the prayers and well wishes. Sends ninja slices to you all. Love you all. We love you too. Mad Max
yeah.
Stone, the game cat.
More prayers and thoughts to your Papa Mad Max.
Sure, never enough prayers, never enough thoughts.
Now,
Definitely.
Frosty says something important that I was going to actually mention here. Cats go after mice. I mean, that's a thing. Like, it was probably instinctual in both of our cats because
Yeah.
he doesn't knock down other things. You know, usually he's never broken anything else that I own. That's the only thing he's broken.
I wish I could say this. I wish I could say the same for
Yeah.
Tornado. Not the case.
I just wonder what percentage of people that receive those that have cats still have one that isn't broken. Probably very low percentage.
Well, on this show, we're 0 for 2. So, not
Yeah.
good. Not good. All right, guys, we have so much news to talk about today. We have a whole lot of things to talk about. Just FYI, if anybody tuned into my Layers of Fear stream earlier, it was awesome, and we can't wait to talk all about that game in depth. on Wednesday when Dave and AJ have more of a chance to play it and we can all have a good discussion about it. But feel free to stop in and check out the first 10, 20 minutes of it to see if it's for you. In the meantime, we don't want to spoil anything for you. But that being said, I spoiled everything for you. I played it for 3 hours and 45 minutes. I beat the whole game. So
we
make
have
sure.
until Thursday.
Yeah, totally. So yeah. But we'll be talking about that game on Wednesday's show. So make sure you tune in for that. Also, join our Discord, man. The link is in the description below. I'm sure that some of the cats have posted it, and it's already been taken down by the Google mods in the chat over here. But that's where this conversation happens 24/7, and we love hanging out with you guys. You guys are what makes my world go round. We love you so much. And also, I didn't realize that people didn't know this. I do have a retro channel, so click that link in the description below too. I streamed Pinball of the Dead on Saturday, and then when I got sick of that, I played Mario Pinball Land, and then when I got sick of that, I played some Jockey Crush on Super Famicom, which
self-promotion.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Do you not want to self-promote your channel, AJ?
No.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I don't have a channel.
Because you've been.
I don't have a channel, Brian.
Listen, guys.
Go away.
I don't know if you know this, but AJ not only has a Twitter account, but he also has a YouTube channel where he's been uploading a couple pretty cool lists lately. What did you upload in the last couple of days?
Dude, man, like right before the show, literally, I got my top 10 PSVR hidden gems. Man, I'm really proud of it. I've been working on it since yesterday, and recently got a top 10 upcoming PSVR games that we can be excited for. It's going to be a great year, man. We've got not only PSVR2 news that'll be coming down the pipelines, but man, we've also got a bunch of great games that you don't really want to miss out on in the meantime.
Yeah, for sure, man. This is going to be such a good year. I'm so excited for everything. And dude, in Layers of Fear, like today felt like something special to me. Like being like, okay, we played Wraith. We talked about Wraith last week, but that's like, it's got a ways before it gets to PSVR. Yeah. Layers of Fear is done and like it's ready to go. And like, we're just waiting for it to pop on the PlayStation Store on Thursday. So like, this feels like 2021. Like it feels like 2021 part 2. Where it's like, okay, now here comes the next flood of games. And with Star Wars Pinball coming on that day too, man, it's going to be a great week. We had a lot of good stuff coming. And I want to give a shout out.
2021 First Blood Part 2.
That's right. Wow, I got a Rambo reference. That's amazing. I never get Rambo references or any action movie references. Stay gold bang! Exclamation point with the $10 tip says, but I thought Epic Games was building it. So are they not only... trying not only to create different Oases, but also possibly connecting them all. Love you guys. First donation. It won't be the last. Thank you so much for your first donation ever. Very interesting question that we will certainly talk about. I'm going to copy and paste that right into the run of show so we can talk about that a little bit more when we get to the topic of PlayStation Home for PSVR2. Also, you stay frosty with the $5 tip. I'm sorry, I had to put it back on the screen. Says, this goes to Quill's medical bills. May she get repaired quickly. She's like halfway there, man. She's halfway there. I like just managed to shove things in holes and make it all look like... She's like kind of wobbly right now is what the deal is. I'm just nervous. But we'll get her fixed. Thank you very much for your support, Frosty. Also, some good pickups today. I saw your picture on Discord. All right. With all of that housekeeping out of the way, 10 goddamn minutes, AJ. 10 goddamn minutes.
Well, luckily, we have a lot of exciting news to talk about, including some producers, some big names. Not going to name drop just yet. Joining some smaller teams that has me pretty fired up, guys. But first, of course, we're going to start with anything PS5 or closest to PS5 related, and that is via Push Square. PlayStation Home trademark renewal has fans dreaming. They say, this is an article by Liam Croft over there, and they say it's now been more than 6 years since PlayStation Home shut its doors, an online PS3 experience where you could meet other real-life players, take part in activities together, and just sort of hang out. Think of it as a knockoff Second Life that you're long... I don't know what he's saying here. But anyways, they do say, however, you shouldn't let this discovery get your hopes up for the service's return. You know why, Brian, Dave, and GameCats? Because basically the license ran out and they renewed it. But that, just like he says, hasn't stopped us from fantasizing and dreaming about how cool it would be for it to return somewhat.
Sure. Sure. I mean, it's a smart business move, right? To be able to say, hey, this trademark expired or is about to expire. Let's renew it. Right? But it's also like it was somewhat of a failed experiment. Like PlayStation Home was in beta forever, like forever. And I, the guy, he was comparing it to Second Life, which is, I mean, pretty accurate. It was basically a very budget Second Life, but it was for anybody who's not familiar. I saw some people saying I've never even touched this thing. For anybody not familiar, it was basically an app that you launched. You could build your own avatar. You could basically, deck out your space, your room, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time. And then you could like step outside and basically explore this virtual world and it was like an MMO with just like hundreds of thousands of people running around, talking to each other, texting, all that stuff. And, and everybody was wearing their own clothing, and you could go to different spaces and just hang out. And there were certainly some activities you could play, mini games, that kind of stuff. And it didn't really go anywhere. Like by the time it came out of beta, like no one cared. Like, did it even come out of beta, or did they just kill it? I think it did, right?
I don't actually know. It's funny. We're going to get real with our thoughts about PlayStation Home. Now, we've talked about how much we would love for it to come back and be for PSVR 2 in the future, which I still stand by. But as far as the beta thing, I'm not sure, Brian. What I do remember is that there was like game themed attractions. Like there was like the Uncharted. There was like the Uncharted event, which I don't ever actually think I got to play. I don't know if it never released or if I just lost interest. But the truth is, man, I did kind of lose interest. I think it was like Aceville or some of the cats were talking about it. And yeah, I totally agree. Like it was really cool at first, but I think that's part of the reason that it failed in the long run was that it just didn't have enough to like sustain you. But it was a cool idea. And so I that's why I'm still like, I would like to see it get another chance. I believe in second chances, guys.
I mean, on a flat screen and as a thing, that's kind of sectioned off into its own app, I can see why it wouldn't take off.
Mm-hmm.
But in VR, this seems like the perfect application. And this is why I would be excited about, obviously they're just renewing a patent. It doesn't mean anything. Patents don't mean anything anyways to begin with.
Right,
so,
right.
But in VR, if it was sort of like a system level, like your home menu when you start up is your home in there. And if you want to group up with people, party up with people, maybe you go to someone's house and you say, hey, man, you want to join up with me? Then you walk to somewhere and then enter a game together because you both own that game. An icon pops up. You walk in the game and you're partied up.
Yeah,
that would be awesome and a really cool way to do social VR. And like, as I think Rhodey said, when you were describing it, he's like, oh, so just Rec Room, basically, right?
Yeah, Cosmo said that too. Yeah.
But if Rec Room was a platform through which you could launch other things and get together there and then go do something else, that would be a really cool kind of system level feature. I don't know if they'll do that. I mean, that's big dreaming on my part, but
yeah, one of the major problems, like you said, was that it was a separate app that it didn't connect to any real games, and you were there to hang out in that virtual space, and there was nothing else to it. And the load times were atrocious. I'll tell you, it was terrible. And and like in communicating with people, I can't believe people actually sat there and had big long conversations. I met a couple people, but like and I'd like type, and it wasn't fun to interact with people. So being able to like just be, first of all, like throw the headset on and walk around in a virtual space with no load times and have everything be a little bit more seamless and just be like, you hear people talking because they're talking. And then when you want to communicate with someone and you go, hey, how's it going? You join a group of people like, hey, what's up? And if you're irritating, people can mute you, that kind of thing, just like any other VR game. And like Rec Room is a great comparison for sure, because yeah, there's gonna, we want the mini games, we want these cool places to hang out. We want, and honestly, especially if it's a free service, I would like Sony to be able to make some money off of this and have a shop with like microtransactions. So you can be like, I'm going to customize my avatar with this cool shirt, with this cool hat, with these clothes, with blah, blah, blah. Maybe I can customize something. And just to kind of like personalize your outfit, because I've only done that once or twice in Rec Room, but it was really satisfying to go into a stream and be like, hey, look at me. Don't I look spiffy? Right. And just like, I've customized my character to a certain extent. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
at the time, were you done?
I mean, you know me, man. Like, if you don't interrupt, I'm gonna go on all day.
All I did was a peep, but yeah, man. I mean, look, at the time, I remember going out there and there'd be like, the water fountain and stuff where everyone could gather around and stuff, and similar to the rec center and rec room. But at that time, I wasn't crazy about meeting random people online on PlayStation. So I don't think I ever really talked to people or used it to its full way that it should be utilized. But I could imagine this being like playing with all the game cats and stuff, and like getting a place like Rec Room is already a proof of concept that this could potentially work really well, because Rec Room has exploded. And I do love the idea of this. We hang out in Discord like 24/7 practically, or here or on our channels, wherever. And with our community, something like this would be amazing in my opinion. But I could see at the time, it was different. And Sean Wax says VR chat is so popular, this would be a system seller. And I kind of agree. Like, this is like one of those, this would be a good like counter to VR chat or something similar. I think that's why people that use VR are so interested in this and intrigued by this concept, because of something like VR chat that exists.
Yeah, and like Stay Gold Bang said in his tip, he's like, I thought Epic Games was building this Oasis type thing. And like, well, yeah, that's fantastic. But if Sony can do it better, this is one of the things that makes you go, well, should I go here? Should I go here? They both have great games, but this one has a cooler, social aspect to it. Social aspect is one of the things that's selling Quest like crazy. Something that like PlayStation hasn't really nailed yet. And so, Stay Gold Bang, I do think that like Sony would want to make this a very specific PlayStation experience, where it's like you put on a PSVR2 headset and you are in this world, and it's just cooler than all of the other worlds out there, right? And one of the things that like Home does that Rec Room doesn't do is like to be able to like have your own personal space, like be able to have your own room, your own apartment, your own mansion, whatever the fuck you want, and then be able to like just collect things for Animal Crossing style and start decorating it, and then be like inviting people over. Right. So like you don't feel like playing a game, just want to hang out in a virtual space. It's like, hey, come to my house tonight. You send an invite to friends, they come on over. I mean, this is stuff that just sounds to me like relaxing and exciting and just kind of everything I want from like basically what I wanted from Home to begin with. And now in VR would be amazing.
Yeah. What you see with some of the cats like Creeper Betty, Jason, Just Incredible, all those cats, what they do in Rec Room, and they create these amazing game cat hubs and stuff that for us to socialize and hang out in, to actually have something designed to built from the ground up to be able to have like hangout spots and stuff. And like you said, being able to customize it, having a customizable room or dorm room or whatever on a flat screen, to me, I have like no interest. But actually being to sit in there and excuse me, and look around and stuff would be like dope as hell.
So, do you think, and this is another speculative thing, of course, but like with the loss of PlayStation communities, there's no real replacement yet, and have they announced what it would be replaced with? I don't know of anything. Maybe this could be an alternative to that too. You could have like a group of friends in there with you, a message board. You walk up to the message board, read the messages from your friends, stuff like that.
And I mean, just to tack on to that, like this doesn't have to be a VR exclusive thing. It would be really cool for all PlayStation 5 gamers to be able to be like, oh, here we go, man. I'm just gonna stop into Home and see who's around, and people are walking around, and maybe there's a headset icon above the ones who are in VR, and not for not. It's like there's no reason to make this VR exclusive, I don't think.
MRI Gamer says, according to Wikipedia, PlayStation Home remained in perpetual beta from December 2011 till March 2015.
Yep.
So I don't think it ever left beta unless there was a short stint after 2015, but I don't think so. Not that I know.
It went through a lot of revisions during that beta phase too, because I remember just stopping in once every 6 months or so, because I was so hardcore about PlayStation 3, and there were moments where there was nothing else to do on PlayStation 3. It was like, well, I've got this home thing, I'm going to stop in here. Like before things really heated up, like that was a fun place to stop in, and so it's interesting to like see what the improvements were. And one of the things that you mentioned, AJ, was there were like these game specific rooms, and I remember there being one for Siren Blood Curse, and being like, oh yeah, but like I don't.
Yes.
I don't think I ever got that ride working or that game working. You'd go into these attractions and you'd stand in line and wait with people and talk, and like the curated environment, like that, like it was themed like the game that you're about to kind of like see some kind of demo or sample or experience of. It was just cool to be able to be like, oh man, and what a great way to sell your upcoming VR game than to be like, hey, let's like take a couple of your friends with you and walk down the street to this attraction, especially in a COVID world where it's like people still aren't walking down the streets with people. It would just really bring like that social aspect to exactly where it needs to be for an Oasis type experience.
I totally agree. They have to get the activities right, and that's just something. Like I said, I don't know if I just don't remember, but that's not something I remember. That was like what I was excited about. That's what kept me coming back to PlayStation Home, but then I never like ended up. I don't remember many of the things that many of the activities, events, and stuff. However, Imhotep the game line does and says, I loved shooting pool, bowling, sodium shooter, the zero gravity room.
Sodium, yes, that was the big one.
He says, I had this girl invite me to a dolphin racing event that I didn't know anything about. I always wanted actual game demos in there. Yeah, I agree. Imagine having Ocean Descent where we could all pile into one of those shark cages and like, descend together. Dude, that would be such a cool experience.
Rush of Blood, where like a cart pulls up and like 8 of us all get on the same cart together, right? And then go through a level.
I'd be throwing everybody under the bus. I'd be like, no, don't eat me. Take Rhodey.
Oh man. Well, here's the good news, guys. Is that just in case this is just a pipe dream and not anything that's actually going to come to fruition, there is still another chance. And that comes in the form
and we should be back.
All right. So the good news, guys, is that the next update that we know about is going to be, from what we've heard, Media Molecule is planning to add multiplayer to Dreams. And to me, that is some next level stuff. I have a feeling that might come at the same time as like a PS5 version, because Dreams has what is it called? What is the adaptive like resolution and stuff? But it has adaptive resolution and frame rate. But anyways, they're going to be adding multiplayer as a major update. I imagine PS5, a legit PS5 update will happen as well. And if they do, Dreams Central, they say, welcome to paradise. Dream Central is an ever-expanding social entertainment hub featuring public and private spaces, minigames, and attractions. Connect, compete, and cooperate in activities whilst progressing and unlocking new areas, items, cosmetics, and other unique rewards. Now, we don't actually know if this is something that is going to be VR supported just yet. At least have proper VR integration. We know that all they have to do is enable it, and you could probably experience it from third person, but that's not what we're after. We want the PSVR2 version of this with the interactive hands and stuff. And this is basically inspired by PlayStation Home. It's a project that began in 2019, and it looks really legit, and it looks really fun and really intricate. Looks like they spent a lot of time designing this. So there's always a plan B.
Yeah, this looks pretty good. And they, I was looking at the FAQ, and people said, how long has the Dream Central been in development? They said we started working on the game in March 2019. As AJ said, they said, what inspired you to make the game? They said, when PlayStation Home closed, it left a void in the gaming community, which hasn't really been filled. This idea of a 3D social network was ahead of its time, and the initial vision wasn't fully realized. We aim to do something similar to the initial concept and act as a stepping stone to the metaverse. Games like Planet Coaster, The Herbs, Jet Set Radio, Thrillville, and Splatoon also inspired us along the way. This is, I mean, they've been working hard at this for a long time. This looks super slick, like to the point where I had to check like 17 times to make sure it wasn't actually a Media Molecule project, that it wasn't like an extension, like an official extension of Dreams. This looks super polished.
It does. And the cool thing is they also, it's a community-based project. So anybody can chip in and contribute assets or mini games or stuff like that. And so the potential here is pretty much endless, so long as Dreams does end up getting that multiplayer support. And that was something I was thinking about for a while too. I'm like, we can create our own multiplayer games, our own chill, like places to chill and hang out together and stuff like that, just like in Rec Room. But I love Rec Room, but if Media Molecule plays their cards right, like it could really eclipse the, like, in terms of like graphical fidelity, in terms of like just certain things like that. And yeah, it could be something really, really special. And I just really believe that Dreams is gonna just really take off one day. It's basically having like a whole modding community on a console.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we speculated a lot about Home, but Sony owns Media Molecule. And if they're doing this within Dreams, why dedicate your own resources to come up with something like Home that's different?
Right.
Like, if we funnel this through Dreams, I mean, that'd be really cool. I'm just thinking of all the possibilities now of, like, imagine visiting Wargarble's house in Dreams. That would be a terrifying experience, but I can't wait. And like, there are so many good games out there already that to have a way with multiplayer, when that drops, to just get together with people pretty much exactly like I said, meet up in somebody's room, go to their apartment, be like, hey, what do you want to play today, guys? Let's walk down the promenade and see what games are on display. And it's a cool idea that, like, whoever's in charge will still be curating as it goes. Like, it's not just like this launches with golf. It's like, we're accepting submissions for all kinds of stuff we could include in here. So it's gonna be. You just
reminded me, we could have golf with multiplayer,
right?
And it'd be fantastic.
There's a lot of things we could have if this comes to fruition, as well as it sounds like it might. So
yeah, they're planning to launch. So Dreams Central is planning to launch the beta version of it, which is within Dreams, but they're planning to launch their beta version of it early 2022. So that's going to be right around the same time that we
PSVR2.
know more details about PSVR2.
Yeah. No, this is, I'm curious to see what they do with Dreams in regards to PlayStation 5 and PSVR2. Like, will they be, it's like, oh, hey, here's your PS5 patch, here's your PSVR2 patch. Like, is exactly how is this all
I don't know that it needs one, right? Because, like, from what I've heard from creators and what I've seen performance-wise, is if you have a PS5 and it's installed, it adapts, it scales up by default to have more nitro to play around with. People who have the PS5 can play more intense games that would, kick you back to flat screen or run at like super low frame rates on the other one. And it just kind of works. And I'm thinking they were future-proofing it.
Yeah,
they were, but that's not even a legitimate PS5 version yet. So there's potential to add even more power. Running in backwards compatibility, yes, you have more access to GPU and CPU power, but not the full SSD power of the SSD and the full hardware within the PS5. So it's very limited running in PS5 in backwards compatibility mode.
They need to put in a PS5 update where you can do your own ray tracing. you go into Dreams and you're ray tracing yourself.
Yeah.
Good, Brian.
No, I'm just gonna say the only thing I think it really does need will be will just be for the controllers itself. Update, give it a little PSVR2 controller patch, and and hopefully whatever when you throw on that new PSVR2 headset, with the wider field of view and all the other stuff, hopefully it just works. We'll see, But again, it's like those new controllers. This is different than Move controllers, no longer light tracking, everything else. So I think there will need to be a substantial PSVR2 patch. And man, to be able to make games with adaptive triggers and stuff will be a lot of fun. But yeah, man, it's like Dreams does seem set to be like good to go on PlayStation 5, PSVR2 already for the most part. So
For the most part.
yeah,
The good news is, guys, is that Media Molecule has already expressed interest in the next generation headset coming to PS5, aka PSVR 2. So, there were some people like, oh, Media Molecule, kind of jumping the gun, which this happens a lot. And they were like, I'm guilty of it too, where they were like, they saw what they posted and they're like, oh my God, they're going to add PSVR 2 support. And they were like, whoa. We didn't say that. We just said like, we were excited about PSVR 2 because we're all excited about it. I mean, how could you not be?
they're going to add PSVR2 support. Come on. I mean,
So,
come on.
They've got
a 10-year plan. 10-year plan does not include PSVR 1. I'm sorry. No matter how much we love our PSVR 1s, and even if it's got a couple years left in it, it doesn't have 10 years left in it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, but they could have abandoned that 10-year plan too. We don't know. A lot has changed when we first heard about that 10-year plan.
I'm so sad about Dreams, man. It's like it should have taken off immediately. It should have been like one of the biggest things on the platform. It should have been number one on every single sales chart, whether you just like playing other people's games or you want to take a stab at making your own games. It was $40, dropped to $20. I mean, it's just like it doesn't sound like there's been as much interest in that game as there should have been, which is just really sad, man. It's like creators' dream.
I think it's
no pun intended, strangely enough.
It's kind of a marketing thing. I mean, Sony, for whatever reason, didn't really push this the same way they push other big, things from studios that they own. Not technically first party, but as close as you can get. I just feel like people didn't know what it was or what it did, or like we did, because we saw the application of it for VR, especially, and like that perked us up immediately. But if it didn't have VR, would we even know what it was, like, or what it's about, or
sort of, yeah,
barely, like not enough to get excited about.
Well, I was
think
following
that's
it.
What they missed, like,
yeah, I was following it because I tried my first attempt at creating in Little Big Planet and Little Big Planet 2. I made
which
some
were
Little Big
heavily
Planet
marketed.
levels.
Those games were heavily marketed.
They were heavily marketed, and
Yeah.
Little Big Planet 2 still was very limited, and it was kind of like they just ditched Little Big Planet. Of course, somebody else has picked it up now and developed it, but they ditched that single player platformer, and they just went crazy with the tools and like unlimited resources and stuff that you could do. And that was one of the things that actually made it easier for me to just jump in. I had a vision for a game, a snowboarding game, and I was like, it took some work, but that's the thing about Dreams is that it is all community driven. And I think that's what separates Rec Room from Dreams, is that Rec Room has developed developer games, like games made by developers and stuff that are the core, were the original core. And then there was all the social element to it as well. And over time, I mean, if you look at the games in Rec Room now versus when they first launched, like they have evolved. Like paintball is like actually super legit now and is like super fun. I know Hunter like requested it one time, but yeah, I think that's the big difference, is that Dreams is completely 100%. Besides the art stream and stuff, it was mostly, it has to be powered by the community, and there are people out there like Bad Robo in the chat. Yes, I see you.
What's up, Bad
man?
Robo? He's like a superstar around here, for real. Keep up the good work, man.
Lots of superstars, yeah, man. Lots of we like to give lots of attention and stuff because you guys deserve it, man. It's a lot of work. I've just scratched the surface, and it took me like weeks. So, but I really think once Dreams gets the multiplayer integration, that'll give it a boost. And I think where maybe it fell a little bit short to grab people is there wasn't like a game attached to it, like Little Big Planet and stuff. There wasn't like a huge game attached to it, so people were only wanting to buy it, or they were very hesitant to buy it because they figured, well, I don't want to create any games, and there was nothing else there. So that was a big difference in the way both of them launch. But I still think Dreams is going to pick up steam as the years go on. You're already starting to see a bunch of great things.
For sure.
Yeah, there's a
It
part.
just, I think that there needs to be a second round of push from Sony to be like, hey, there are a bunch of cool games in here,
Yeah.
right? Not just like, oh, hey, if you're a creative person who wants to put hours and hours into tutorials, here's the thing for you. But, you know, for me, as the person who never touched a tutorial, never made a lick of anything in Dreams, I love the thing because I like seeing people's creativity and like, it's like this unfiltered kind of raw creative stuff where like,
Yeah.
you know, people get to be themselves and be weird, and you see different approaches to stuff. And, you know, they're not full games. They're not, you know, great games a lot of the time, but they're interesting and fun and stuff to check out, and kind of an endless stream of that.
Well, they're not
So-
AAA games, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
it's the
Well,
same
some of
thing.
them are good games. Like I love Silver Slumber, and like a few other ones feel like games to me. Like I was getting upgrades. I liked the combat.
Oh, some are
It lasted,
shockingly
like,
good.
an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so, some are like, you know, pushing the resolution in PSVR to the max, like for as far as like some, you know, AAA games that I've seen, and they look pretty fucking good. So, you know, they might not have like 10 hours of gameplay, you know, most of them are like under an hour, but it's really, really impressive. And I hope that, you know, that the $20 price tag works for them. I hope that they make it free for PlayStation Plus members at some point. I hope that they really keep pushing this thing, because I do think this has 10 years, a 10-year lifespan ahead of it. I do think that people are going to be interested, and the more they see cool stuff made by creative people and like really artistic people saying, "Wow, look how powerful this thing is," the more people play the games made by those people, the more they're going to go, "What can I do with this?
I could do this." Yeah. So
Yeah.
Shades of Grey Matter has a really good point here. He says, if they want it to succeed, I think it should be free to play people's creations, and you pay if you want the creation tools. Like you get people in the door and you see what can be made, and they're like, "Oh wow, you could do that with this thing, and it only costs $20."
See,
Like
part
if this
of
was a computer program that was like a development software,
Yeah.
even, you know, like RPG Maker or something, like it's more expensive. It's, you know, less. I don't know. Dreams is just so good, and I feel like if you let people get a taste of the games in it for free, they would end up, like you said, getting interested in making their own at some point.
see
The
part
people
of
who want to.
part of me thinks that you've got it backwards. Like if you go to a club and they let all the women in for free because that's that's where the guys want to go. It's like they charge the guys to get in because there's a lot of girls in there, right? Is like, well, give the tools to the creators for free because they're making the shit. And then if you want to play the games, if you're just a voyeur, right? And you just want to play the games, then $20. look how many games we got in here, right? All these creators made shit. It's like if you're going to contribute to the community, free. If you just want to play the games, $20.
I would hate buying the creation tool and not being able to play anything that anyone's done with it. You know, like,
You're ruining my club. my club analogy.
yeah, I was like, I'm not following this analogy. I know it's the right one.
It made
One
sense in
thing-
my head. Now we have to move on.
Oh, we got
Well,
War Garble in here.
One,
Yeah,
one thing,
What's up,
fish
dude?
laser. One thing that
Fish
one thing that they didn't convey as somebody that, you know, got it just to play games and then turned into making dreams, is that process of creating dreams and stuff and building games actually becomes like a fun game in itself. It's super time consuming, but I think that's why you see a lot of the same creators that are just hooked, because like me, for like a month or two, like I was like, I don't need another PSVR game ever again because like this is so much fun. Not only is creating a game fun and satisfying, but you just get access to, once you do the tutorial, you get access to just play around with people's like assets and stuff, and you create, and you can take their scenes and jump into them. I took like a Dragon Ball Z world and took like a cyberpunk motorcycle and then like put myself in first person on the cyberpunk motorcycle driving through the Dragon Ball Z world. And I was like, this is such an incredible experience that just like was mind blowing at the time. You know, I did Jurassic Park stuff where I got in like somebody's Jeep and went to the Jurassic Park thing. So there's so many things that open up. It's not just about building games and stuff like that, but there is more of an experience to be had there as well.
Well, guys, lots and lots of potential for Dreams. Lots of potential for Dreams Central early next year. But I think it's maybe time to move on and talk about some of the games that we already have or that are coming soon.
For sure. Real quick, though, I want to
Talk to
grab
me.
this comment Alex Sin, shout out Alex, is in the studios, Mr.
What up,
Swordsman
Sin?
himself. He said, I like this story. I left the room and forgot I had this playing, and I walked back into Brian shouting, and it scared the shit out of me. So, good work. Good. That was a good gag.
Release the Kraken! Somebody asked one of the Gamescast before if they could get a Release the Kraken shout, and I totally I saw it, but I missed it. But
you're gonna become the "Are we having fun yet?" guy, though. You guys seen Party Down? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
There's a character on it who's in an ad for saying, "Are we having fun yet?" And they every time he sees people, they're like, "You're that guy from the ad. Do it. Oh, he's gonna do it." You know?
Okay, I get you. All right, guys. So some interesting news today. We had we got word. This came from an article from us.wantedly.com, and it was a Japanese article that was translated, and it's regarding Thirdverse, the developers behind Swords of Gargantua and SIE's Japan studio, and that is Akiyuki Toriyama, who has produced numerous global hits titles for consumers, wants to achieve the future with VR games. It's interesting. I have his name as Teriyuki Toriyama. What is the deal here? Where's the thing? Akiyuki.
Auto translate sometimes because you're using Google Translate, right? Certain characters can be interpreted in different ways, so like it might just be kind of waffling on it.
Okay. But this is a big deal because this guy is kind of a big deal. Toriyama is the producer behind Japan Studios, which helped produce Bloodborne, one of my favorite games of all time, and Astrobot, another one of my favorite games of all time. And we know that Japan Studio, the big part of it, recently disbanded, and I think Team Asobi is all that remains now. But now he is joined as the producer for Thirdverse, which makes Swords of Gargantua, and I'm liking what I'm seeing here. And I know we have a potential producer in the chat. I would love for them to share, if they can, how this could benefit. How this could benefit the team, unless you know, Dave.
I'm just happy that Marcusor showed up as soon as we started having a Swords of Gargantua conversation.
Great.
Dude, I want Marcusor to unleash the Kraken in the chat, man. It's like fucking rage right now.
Calm down, Marcusor. Marcusor's a nice guy.
So if you scroll far enough down in this interview, there is a part where it says, "Please tell us about your future challenges," and this is what's going to get everyone excited. So this is the guy who was involved in all those cool games that AJ mentioned. He's got a good track record, and he joined this team. He says the final form of the VR game that Thirdverse is aiming for is a full VR MMORPG. We hear about this all the time, but if they're making it, yeah, I'll play that shit. I don't know. Some of these other ones we'll see when they get here, but if they're working on one, I am interested.
See, the thing that I've been saying, okay, now first of all, the first thing I want to say about this is I'm glad somebody that used to work at Sony is going to Thirdverse to be like, what the fuck is going on with your Sony plans? Like, your PlayStation VR version suffers like greatly compared to all the other versions of this game. Like, that we're the last to get patches, we're the last to get updates, we're not getting all the stuff that the other platforms are getting. And this game was so much fun. I loved Swords of Gargantua. I think I put 40 hours into this game during the month of launch. Like, I play through the entire game maybe twice, 3 times a day for like a month. I was obsessed with it. And then they forgot to keep adding stuff to it. So I'm so happy that somebody who's very PlayStation focused is joining the team. Maybe they can set them right and go, this is how you need to get your game up and running properly on PSVR. That's my first hope. My second, I got a question though, is referred to, Dave, you read part of that article. They said the final form of the game that they're developing. Now, does that refer to a new game by Thirdverse, or are they taking Swords of Gargantua and doing the thing that I've always wanted them to do with it?
Does anybody? First of all,
not. I hope it's a brand new game. I hope it's a brand new game. Swords of Gargantua it's a cool game, but I wouldn't expect a guy with this pedigree to release a game that isn't better than that if they make a second one. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they let him in on the ground floor of developing whatever this next thing is, it's probably going to be better than Swords of Gargantua. Not to shit on Swords of Gargantua, but that's just what I'm guessing. So I'd rather get that in a second, totally different thing.
So two things. Number one, does anybody else find it really funny when they say the final form? Like, does anybody else laugh at that?
I
I
think
mean,
it's just
hey.
a translation thing, but yeah.
It's like the final form.
Godzilla's final form.
The other thing is I would actually really like I thought Swords of Gargantua had a lot of great core stuff. Similar to like Preda Vendetta Rising when that was out back in the day. Like it had all the right stuff in the core, but it never was fleshed out or funded or managed properly.
So painful.
So
Could have been so good.
yeah, so I would love to see that team. I like Nogi over there at Thirdverse, who's one of the co-founders. I talk to him from time to time. He's super nice. He's very talented. Like there's some really talented stuff that they achieved with Swords of Gargantua that if they could take that engine or take that idea and actually build throw in some demon souls, some Bloodborne stuff into it, and then make an MMO, full-fledged MMO out of it, that could be absolutely incredible. The other thing to be excited about is that not only did he mentioned the final form, but he also mentioned that so Shuhei Yoshida, King Shuhei himself, responded to the tweet and was like, congratulations to Mr. Toriyama, and Toriyama responded to Shuhei and said, we're really looking forward to, we want to really try to develop for PSVR 2 as well. So this just bodes well for so many different things. It's so awesome to finally see these developers start to mention like their plans with PSVR 2 and stuff, and we're starting to see more of that. But yeah, this could be maybe they have the more power and stuff needed to create. But I think Swords of Gargantua was really just a victim of the timing that it came out. I think it could have done a lot better if it came out like a year or two sooner or something.
Sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's other games that came out too early. I think Riggs failed because it came way too early.
Right.
Yeah. Also, it couldn't figure out what game it wanted to be, but people like it enough that I think it would have done much better like a year ago.
Easy.
Yeah.
What's his name might be watching.
Yeah, World Haze hates me.
World Haze.
How dare you review Riggs so poorly? I was like, I've never even reviewed it.
I'm just kidding. But he has consistently for like 4 years been like download Riggs. So I got nothing but respect for that.
Well, I mean, I had respect. I lost respect.
Yeah.
But the fact is that Swords of Gargantua, like I've been saying since launch, that it is such like, and I sort of said this about Swordsman as well, that it's like a piece of an amazing bigger game that I expect to see way more of when PSVR 2 rolls around, or maybe maybe it has nothing to do with PSVR 1 or PSVR 2. Maybe it's just like giving these smaller developers time to be able to build a bigger game, and like what we have with Swords of Gargantua feels like the dungeon in an RPG, where it's like, I want to step out of that dungeon and be able to go to a tavern, be able to go to a weapon store, be able to go to an item store, and be able to walk around this area with my team, right? And we prep for the battle. And then we go to, then that's just one of many dungeons, right? And that's what Swords of Gargantua feels like to me. One dungeon in a bigger RPG. And I just can't wait for that to be a thing. And it sounds like potentially that's actually where they're moving, whether it be, whether they keep adding to Swords of Gargantua till its final form, or their next game is literally this totally different thing that has sort of the same vision that I have for their first game.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Japan Studio and Sony own the rights to Demon Souls and stuff like that, I think, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly not Thirdverse. It's certainly not Thirdverse, and it's probably not Toriyama. So,
right.
So they don't have the IP. So it couldn't be. I mean, I would absolutely love a VR Bloodborne MMO RPG designed by the team that made Swords of Gargantua. Like that would be like a dream come true. But let's get real here. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
but
and
if they did their own original thing, kind of based off that, go ahead, Dave.
Well, yeah, so the thing to notice here, I think, also is like, he's got a great track record. This guy's been involved in a lot of big games. But if you look at Bloodborne and Astrobot and you say, is there a clear, signature from this guy from being involved on the games that they came out a certain way? Like, I don't know that it'll be Bloodborne style because that's from Software's style. I don't know that it'll be Astrobot style because that's Japan Studio and Asobi
Asobi,
teams.
yeah.
Right.
That's their style. So as a producer, I think he'll probably just help them actualize whatever their personal development style is, rather than being like, let's make a Bloodborne, you know, like, you know.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what a producer does, like in this role. But he did actually say after working. So they did go into a little bit of details about what his goals would be and what in ways that he could help as a producer / manager of the game design division. So
Yeah, it's I've always been confused about the role of a producer. I used to work with a girl named Nydia who like was very much into like the film industry, and she's a screenwriter kind of thing, and she was always trying to explain to me what producers do, and it's really they're so important, like as important as directors, but like we all know what directors do. And but defining a producer is a little bit harder, but they're just as important. So I do think that this is a very, very good move for everybody involved, honestly. And this was great. When Asobi team kind of disbanded, or when Japan Studio disbanded, leaving only Asobi team, this was sort of my hope, was that all of this talent would like find really good homes. And I think maybe Thirdverse needed somebody like this, because Thirdverse seems good, but they also seem like they don't have a lot of direction, or they seem like confused about how to do simple things sometimes. And so hopefully this will give them some more direction, because this guy's got experience.
They have good fundamental game design talent, and they know what makes a game good. I just don't think they had the resources or the budget or stuff like that. So I think if you gave them that extra cash, they could definitely do it.
Guys, real quick, before we move on to our next topic, the Triangulator with a $15 tip. Thank you so much, our friend. Says, can't stay, but missed you cool cats, and wanted to stop by and say hello, and thank you for the great content. PSVR without parole for life. We love you.
Triangulator,
Thanks,
my dude.
Also, Jay Meow with the $2 tip says, I'll give $2 more if AJ says orbs.
Do you want $2?
I mean
do you want $2?
I mean, I feel like I'm whoring you out right now.
Jay, I'll give
AJ.
I'll give $2. Jay, I'll give $2 if you take your shirt off.
Don't make me say it again.
Take your shirt off, Jay. Take your shirt off.
Orbs.
Whoa.
Orbs.
That was just
PSVR
wow. Does that stack? He didn't specify if that stacks. That could be like $18.
$12.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you owe Brian a lot of money, Jay.
It's all good. Guys,
before we
talk to
move
me.
on, people were saying, what is a producer? We were talking about that. Matthew Lee, who actually works over at, I believe he's one of Tiffany's coworkers. He's one of the other guys over there.
Thank you.
Skydance Interactive.
I'm so
he
glad we
says
got
producer is a cat wrangler.
Okay.
So think of it as a cat wrangler.
That makes perfect sense now.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Shades of Grey Matter clarifies it even further in case Cat Wrangler wasn't enough. Do different things for different companies and games. Often they are in charge of budget / scheduling and making sure the team stays on track. Sometimes more like a creative director. This all sounds right in line with everything I've heard.
Yeah.
And that's what
with smaller companies, you got to wear different hats. So you might be one thing, but you could be doing a little creative directing because they don't have one.
It crashed again. I don't know what's going on, dude. Yes, to keep streaming. Just a second. I think we're back. Dave, you were in the middle of.
I'm in the middle of sending $2 to tell Jay to take a shirt. He said it's off already, so I want him to put it on and then take it off again.
Jay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the second tip. We appreciate you. His shirt's off already, now that we all know. All right. And sorry, having some technical problems behind the scenes, which is obviously something that happens all the time here. One of these days we'll figure it out. All right. Guys, I think we need to move on to our next topic, which, AJ, help me out, man. I'm disorganized. What is it?
Speaking of Swordsman.
Oh, yeah.
Swordsman has a couple updates, which you have actually posted about. I think it was in PSVR this week or breaking news or something. I had no idea about this, but you let me know via that great breaking news. Because somebody around here knows how to get a PS5 patch done. Not gonna call anyone out there.
Somebody around here
whose name starts with a G. There's more updates. These are probably starting to wind down and be the final updates to Swordsman VR, but absolutely love the last one, and this involves a PS5 patch, apparently, Brian,
Yeah.
according to you.
Pretty crazy stuff. It sounds like there's going to be some graphical enhancements for PS5, and also an additional form of anti-aliasing for PS4 and PlayStation 5. I got to be honest, I haven't enjoyed any of the anti-aliasing that Swordsman has had so far. I was the guy at the very beginning that was like, "Can you give it?" There was like 2 or 3 options, and I was like, "Can you give us an option just to turn it the fuck off?" Because I'd rather have it be, have all this aliasing, these rough edges, and have it be clear. So I'm interested to see what this new form of anti-aliasing looks like. Hopefully it'll look okay on PS5. I mean,
it's pretty good at taking feedback these days. So
I think a lot of devs need to see what Swordsman is doing, and that's a tiny team that has making all the right moves, and so it's really awesome to see. And they just some people just have it, and I know Sin Studio took a while to get there, but you can see that they've always had the right idea. It's just been like a really bad like learning process for them. But yeah, Swordsman has been great, and they've been adding everything that the community has wanted, and now they're sitting there at a top 5 downloaded PSVR game every single month. And yeah, when it comes to I love Albo and stuff, and they're like, that's somebody that you can look to see how you need to keep supporting your game. What you do you keep releasing this awesome free content, and people keep coming back for more, keep finally get the game. And I've been getting a lot of people after the Pirates and Dismemberment said, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and grab it. It is the time. Yeah. And they come back and they're like, I love this game. And I'm like, yeah, it's been pretty awesome from the beginning, but it just keeps getting better and better. So if you pick it up now, like, you get something great, but you also have tons of more stuff to look forward to.
Shout out to Dave Station VR with a $2 tip that says, "Jay Meow, put it on, take it off again for me." You guys are so weird. And then also Your Long Shadows with the no
Nokia phone. 50 Nokia phones.
50 Nokia phones. Wow, those things have really shot down in value over the last years. Getting the vibe I should have brought some single dollar bills tonight. Sits back and wait for the show. That's right. Make it rain, Your Long Shadows. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Man. We appreciate it. This is just crazy, right? Because not only we just talked about like the graphical enhancements or whatever, right? But then there's also a new modifier that allows you to wield 2 of the same boss swords, which is like, I mean, I guess people were asking for that. It's like, all right,
super
cool.
OP.
Dude,
right?
Dual gun blades. I'm totally with that.
Right.
Yes.
And then even better. So one of the things I've been asking for was to up the skill cap level, the maximum skill cap, because I want to be able to max out all my skills. I don't want to have to pick and choose. If I play for like 20 more hours, I just want to be the fucking strongest dude out there, right? And I just have everything maxed out. And so the skill cap is being raised from 32 to 36 maximum. But there's also a new skill, and so this is the real reason the skill cap is being upgraded, not just because he wants to make me happy. This new skill is called Astrokinesis, which improves the recharge rate for your boss swords.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
God. I was just thinking astrokinesis sounded like a great way to like summon meteors from the sky or something. I was like, astrokinesis, yeah, rah! Like I'm like a god all of a sudden. But nope, that's cool, I guess.
I'm picturing Final Fantasy VII. I'm assuming that was the thing that you could do. Yeah,
That was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Comet, Meteora.
Oh yeah.
What was there wasn't like there was
Not
a level.
Meteora. I think that's
Meteora was the
album.
Oh, are we mixing up FF7 spell names
Meteor and
with
Comet,
Linkin
Comet
Park
and
album?
Meteor. Then there's like some final some limit breaks that did it too.
Honestly, Meteora definitely sounds like right.
So what I love about this, obviously, more reasons to jump back in, more reasons to play, more reasons to like level up my character, all that stuff. That's all great. But one of the things, I actually had a discussion recently in the comment section about PlayStation 5 improvements on games, and I've been sort of taking the stance that like if you upgrade the graphics on a PlayStation VR1 game, a PS4 VR game, to take advantage of PlayStation 5, that there's like no real money in it, and I really want to know like how many people out there are holding off on these games until we say, oh, and now it looks great on PlayStation 5. And like, well, is that like the tipping point for some people? Like I know for No Man's Sky, it was such a dramatic improvement. that, you know, I'm so willing to be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, where people are like, oh, I just want this game to look better than it does. And now that they've supported it with PlayStation 5, you know, higher res graphics, longer draw distances, you know, whatever. Like, is that a tipping point for people? Like, is this going to change people's minds? Go, oh, no, now I'll buy Swordsman if they're making it look better on PlayStation 5.
Once PS5s are more readily available, I think so. But a lot of people this won't apply to because they don't have a PS5 yet. They're still clicking refresh every 2 days trying to get it.
And a lot of people have given up for now, which is unfortunate. It's different things like not getting the adapter, not being able to get a PS5. It's caused some issues. So we've lost some cats, but we'll get them back once the dust settles and
once we get a cat wrangler in here. Where's our producer when we need him?
We need a producer. We need a producer. Guys.
We need a producer so bad.
If we could pay somebody, we'd totally do it. But
I need a producer. I need an editor. I need a lot of things for sure. So here's my question for you guys. You know, Sin Studio is obviously a really small studio. He's mentioned a few times on his Discord about the new hires that he's got. I think he's got, like, maybe if Alec is still here, he can tell us specifically how many people are on the team now. I know that during the PSVR award show, there were 2 people with him, and I think that there's 1 more now. So they might be a team of 4 instead of the previous team of 1 that he had going on. So how long do we say, like, because there's more coming. Like, this isn't the end of Swordsman. The next one of the next updates, they're working on being able to grab your enemies, which is something, again, that a lot of the community had been asking for. And so it's like they are really, really going in deep and changing the basic functionality or the basic mechanics of the fighting in this game to do what people are asking for. And
people have been asking for grabbing for sure.
And so
Alec is in the chat. He just responded to you. He said there's 8 of us now total.
I mean, fucking insane.
Most are working on the new game, though, which is a good call. I mean, this is already still selling like hotcakes. Like, you've been in the top 10 sales for months, right, on PSVR games. So I'm sure, you know, you can afford to hire some more people like you did. And then I'm ready to see what's next for sure.
That's my question. That's my question. With seeing how much stuff is still coming to Swordsman VR, you know, it makes me really happy actually to see that he says most of them are working on the new game, because I want to know. Just like I want to take a poll, like in the chat. I want you guys. I want to hear from you guys and say, listen, what's like how much more should we possibly expect? We all put in $20 to play this game at some point, and there's no way that we can't say it's not worth it now. Like, we've gotten the game's twice as big as it once was. Like, how much more do we?
Till it stops selling the game, till people stop asking for stuff, till people don't care anymore. That's what happens with a lot of VR releases is that, you know, that's why some people don't even address patches or updates. You know, we were just talking about Swords of Gargantua and stuff because nobody says anything. Nobody cares. There's clearly people buying the game. There's people demanding stuff or asking for stuff, and they're just delivering it. So once that starts to die down is when we're going to stop getting stuff for it.
Yeah.
So Tiffany also says she'll be our producer. That's a big get. No, I mean, she's... No, you don't want her to be?
No, I told her that she says she can't even get me a PS5 patch. So she's got a lot of work to do before she can prove that needs to be on the resume is PS5 patch.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you need to bolster that work history.
Application.
Yeah, you're not qualified for without parole shit yet.
Or some brass knuckles or, you know.
This is an entry-level producer position. We're going to have to have 15 years of professional game dev experience. You need to have shipped 3 games already, even though it's entry-level producer shit.
Yeah.
So hope you're ready to.
Shout out to Donatello, the Scientist Game Cat, with the $10 tip. Says the PSVR without parole gremlin needs a name. My suggestion is Josh. Did I miss something? Do we have a gremlin?
I don't know about the gremlin. Maybe the thing
that crashes the show.
Yeah, he's fucking wires down there.
So we're gonna call him Josh from now.
Strangely, the same thing that haunts my apartment. So it very well might be the same. Yeah.
I believe somebody, maybe Jameow, said, "Isn't that just called Tornado?" So that might be our gremlin.
I feel like I've trained Tornado to sleep during GAMESCAST. She's like, he's not going to pay attention to me for the next 2 hours.
She just notices how boring it is.
She has figured out how boring Daddy is a long time ago. She looks at me sitting on the couch watching TV. She walks by and just shakes her head. She's like, I'm just going to go over here.
I think we got another tip from Imzadi.
Imzadi with the $3 Australian says, I just woken up. Clothes on, boys.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yep. Thank you so much, Mzadi. Wow. Also, Scott, Jessico, PSN Harry Fellow, PSVR Game Cat 4 Life with the $5 donation saying, Future Past Scott, quick. Brian Paul quote, vegetables, what's scary about them? F word, what's the F word? Okay, vegetables can be scary. So funny. That's actually a very messy quote from my Layers of Fear stream earlier. What kitchens are not scary until they are. I'll tell you that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Future Scott Justico. And obviously, Nihilist Ryan the Game Feline with a $5 tip. Says, perhaps Swords of Gargantua would have sold better if they called it Swordsman of Gargantua.
Perhaps. Or sold it before Swordsman came out. There was like 5. We had no sword fighting games, and then we got like 5 at once.
Until You Fall happened during the same week, I think. It was crazy.
Yeah. It was just like, whoa, okay. So it was just like I said, some were fortunate, some were less fortunate, but they were all pretty good games as far as I remember. I don't think there was a single bad sword fighting game that I can remember, but yeah, guys, so looking forward to this, looking forward to hearing more, looking forward to every single dev out there who's kind enough to give us what we want and what we ask for. But yeah.
If only all of them were so considerate. If only all of them.
I know.
Yep. All right, we got one more story before we call it quits today. AJ, which one is it? Because I don't fucking know. We don't have a producer. No one told me anything.
Well, luckily I can take on that role. Iron Guard VR, which is a Command and Conquer inspired metal based game. They had said posted on Twitter. I've been talking to these guys recently, but they had nothing to share at the time. But finally they did, and they said, "What a week! Launched our closed beta. Now sharing something different for Screenshot Saturday. Truly excited to be a PlayStation partner. Looking forward to this new adventure. Hashtag PSVR. Hashtag PSVR2. Hashtag like 20 other hashtags."
But I didn't see a hashtag GameCat Army in there, so come on, figure your shit out. Figure your shit out, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a brand new RTS, real-time RTS that actually looks really cool. I'm a big fan of Command and Conquer. I love that game. And I absolutely loved Final Assault. But one of the things that it didn't focus on was base building. And this has this goes back to the roots of like, you know, gathering resources, base building, stuff like that, versus Final Assault, which was just blow stuff up and earn points and get more stuff to blow more stuff up. So I personally am super excited, and talking to these guys, they come from a background of like award-winning like 3D animation studios and stuff. It's funny how we get a lot of these now that are coming into the VR scene, which is great. But yeah, they have a great background, like I said, and but it's all about the game. But hopefully you're playing the trailer.
I am. Definitely. I'm even switching trailers, going from one to another. Yeah, so it's Vigilante Ranger, but like nicer.
Oh wow, that's rough.
I mean, no, listen. Like when I'm looking at the way the game plays, like the trailer here with all the gameplay. Listen, I know Vigilante Ranger was a terrible game, and this looks like it's really polished, but it plays pretty much the same.
Okay, now I have to look at this trailer. I wasn't before, but now I am looking at it.
I thought this was more focused on like real-time strategy and.
To me, this looks straight up tower defense.
I see a guy standing in one place, going like this, pointing and shooting stuff. Yeah, that seems right.
Well, it does look a lot better than Vigilante Ranger, though.
It does, absolutely. In the description over on Steam, basically says it's a sci-fi. Oh, it says it's a sci-fi tower defense game made in the spirit of classic RTS games. Lives of the surviving crew members are in your hands. Find out why the terraforming robots have rebelled. Help evacuate your crew from an unknown planet where survival is a new frontier. Then, complete 360 degrees immersive gameplay. Now, it seems like it could be very well done with Move controllers. So they didn't actually specify if this is PSVR 1 or PSVR 2. It is coming out in Q2 on Steam, but of this year, like it's coming out very, very soon. But this could very well be like a PSVR 2 title, especially if they're focused on the 360 degree thing, unless they want to add some turn buttons.
I don't think it needs to be a PSVR 2 title.
No,
it doesn't look like it.
But it will get way more attention if it is. Everything at this point will get more attention if it's a PSVR 2 title. I just hope, based on this, I hope this is not the highest level of quality we see in PSVR 2 initial batch of games. Like, this looks okay, but it doesn't look. I wouldn't be stoked if I just bought a PSVR 2 and this was one of the 5 games I could play on it. I'd be like, I hope there's more than 5 games at launch. I hope there's
that's what I'm saying. I hope it is PSVR 1. Strong.
What's funny about this game is like there was two things I really liked about it. I remember watching it, and I remember thinking, "Oh, it's like Command and Conquer." I don't even remember seeing the shooting thing, like the Vigilante Ranger shooting thing. And then I also heard the soundtrack, and I was like, "Yes, this is a big metal soundtrack. It's awesome and stuff."
That's all
And
it
now,
takes.
like, I feel like today or yesterday, today and stuff, when I've seen this stuff, it all looks completely different than what I remember. So I don't know if I was looking at the wrong thing or what, but really happy for them. And to be fair, if Spuds Unearthed wasn't a complete broken pile of crap, it actually would have been kind of fun, a little bit. But like, it was really broken, and it did get really boring too. But there hasn't been like one of these games to do this successfully yet, so it is kind of risky. But I do think that if somebody gets it right, if they have the right mechanics, the right amount of chaos going on at once, it could be pretty fun.
Or chaos. Yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. But again, we have no idea if this is even development for PSVR. Like, they are approved to be a Sony partner and make a game for PSVR, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, whatever. And so, but we have no idea if this is far in development or not. My fingers are crossed that they've been working on it, and they're just to be able to do a quick port and get it out relatively soon, because it's coming out very soon. Steam. It'd be really nice to not have to wait a year to get that from them. AJ, before we do PSVR 20 questions.
Oh, are we going to do that?
Do you have a game picked out? Because you're hosting it this week.
Well, I can give you some time to do that with a should we or shouldn't we? Quick one.
Well, real quick, I want to make sure we address Kyle's question. Kyle was asking about State of Play this Thursday. Now, State of Play this Thursday, right. There's always the question, should we stream it, should we not stream it? And it seems like most of it is going to be focused on Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. And then there's going to be an update on 2 indie titles. So for me, it's like, we can stream it just because we stream every State of Play, and like with the fingers crossed that one of those indie titles is a PSVR game, but it's really up to the community as far as I'm concerned. You guys, I never tell you guys that you have to be there. I can certainly just sit here and hang out with the cats. 4 days a week is a little much for streaming, but let us know.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind nerding out about some Ratchet and Clank, even if that's the best we get, because I like Ratchet and Clank. So
yeah, looks really good.
I'm ready, Brian.
All right, guys. PSVR 20 questions. Paying homage to my favorite segment on one of my favorite shows, Game Scoop, over on IGN. We have 20 questions. Dave and I are going to be asking the questions to AJ. Yes or no questions to figure out what PSVR game this is. Dave, you want to start the questions?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna prep myself here. You start the first one. I got one planned.
All right. Is this a wave shooter?
No.
Is it a puzzle game, AJ?
No.
Damn. Okay.
Okay.
Not really. No.
Not really. No.
Maybe some light elements, but mostly no.
Does it use the move controllers?
No.
It doesn't use the move controllers at all.
No.
Okay.
It's 3.
Does it use the aim controller?
No, that's 4.
DualShock only.
Did this also come out on the flat screen?
Actually, I think so. Hold on. I actually think it is flat screen as well.
Okay, so far we know it's DualShock 4.
But you wouldn't know it for a flat screen though. But that's 5. Yeah.
Is it snowy?
No.
Oh,
6.
okay.
Where can I ask where you were going with that question? I'm just curious.
Kona.
Oh,
Kona, because he said it is flat, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know
it
this for being a
otherwise.
flat game. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know this about being a flat game.
Is it scary?
Is it what?
Scary. Is it like a horror game? No.
I thought you asked if it was Gary, and I'm like, Gary. I'm like, is he guessing Gary the Goat this early into the fucking thing?
I'm not guessing, man, because if we're wrong, we lose.
Is it Gary? No, that's
sorry. Meow meow the gamer cat. I would say persistence is scary. So
it's not scary then.
No.
Okay. Is it trippy?
No.
That takes care of Polybius. Thanks, Rypop.
Yeah, that's what Rypop was saying. Yeah.
We gotta get genre down. It's a DualShock 4 only. We gotta get genre.
8.
I'm actually struggling to think of any DualShock only games.
Is it on our top 25 list, or has it been on our top 25 list?
That's a good question.
No.
9.
Okay.
Wow. Does it have?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Does it have full locomotion?
Yes. That's 10.
Okay. We're halfway there.
Whoa.
That's kind of a tough
on
one.
a prayer. Take my hand.
It's a
We'll
tough
make
one,
it,
but-
I swear.
But I know you guys know this one.
Oh boy.
Is it first person?
Yes.
It is first person. It's not scary. It uses only the DualShock. It's not in our
11.
top 25.
Guys, thank you guys
You're
in the
lucky
chat
I
so
didn't.
much.
You're lucky I didn't pull out Bugs Box VR because you would have never gotten that.
Yeah.
Is it?
Ooh, I like Michael's question. Are you in a vehicle?
You are in a vehicle.
Thank
Can
you,
you-
Michael.
12.
Friends?
What's that?
You play with friends.
No.
Whoa, so not Battlezone.
there's-
Okay.
See, it's not Battlezone. See, I thought you were going to go
13.
down that road.
It's good though. It's good.
You're in a vehicle. You can only use the DualShock.
Wait, now hold on a second. We actually don't know if you can only use a DualShock. Can you also use the HOTAS?
No.
You should have asked Racing
14.
Wheel. You should have asked Racing Wheel, not HOTAS.
Oh shit! That's so funny. Like I meant to say Racing Wheel. Crap.
I know. As soon as it came out of your mouth, I was like, Racing Wheel.
Wait. How many questions do we have left? What number is this?
Not
you
many.
You have 6 left.
Dave, let's ask the Racing Wheel question.
on.
Let's burn a question.
Shit. Is there a Racing Wheel support?
No.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, there goes that.
5 left.
Okay.
Oh,
let's
boy.
think of.
Did I go too hard? Maybe this was too difficult.
Wait.
All right,
Hold
go
on.
ahead.
We haven't
you know
lost
it. You
yet.
know it. It's up
Right.
there.
We haven't lost yet. You're in a vehicle. It's first person. You can only use the DualShock, not even HOTAS or Racing Wheel.
Mm-hmm. Is it a... Fuck. Man. Is it...
You have 5 left.
I don't know. That's the question.
Oh, Is this? I mean,
Would you call it a racing game?
No.
Fuck. Okay, I blew it.
4
Sorry.
left.
Ooh. Is this? I'm gonna go with Your Long Shadows question. Is this a game in VR worlds?
No.
Oh God, we're getting
3.
close here.
Wait,
Is it?
Wipeout does not use. I like Brian Piccolo's. Wipeout doesn't use.
No, I said, is it a racing game already? And you
Oh,
said
right.
No.
Crap.
So that can't be. It's not Wipeout.
Yeah, I was thinking
cut.
Eve at one point. I was thinking Eve at one point, but
And somebody said rigs, and I was thinking maybe, but we already said you can't play with friends, so it's not rigs.
that's another good one to know that you can't play with friends, so that excludes Eve as well.
I'll give you a hint. It was in my last video I just posted today.
Oh God! Don't make me watch your videos.
Wait,
RJ.
so this is one of your hidden gem videos?
It's in the hidden gem video, yes.
Well,
It's a scavenger hunt now. It's a scavenger hunt now, man. Let's go. I'm gonna...
no, don't
Skip around.
You got 2
don't.
guesses left.
That
Two
would
guesses
we
left.
can't
we
watch
need
the
it.
video. That would be cheating.
I'm gonna skim through it. I'm just gonna skim through it.
You have 2 guesses left.
We need this, Brian.
Okay, but
I'm not gonna take a loss on this one.
I like.
Oh.
2 guesses.
I think I know about it. Is it a dungeon crawling fantasy RPG?
Are you in a vehicle in this dungeon
No.
crawling fantasy RPG?
Oh fuck! I forgot about the vehicle thing. Isn't a body a vehicle anyways? Just for your,
You get
your
one
brain
left.
and your thoughts. Damn it!
Not for the purpose of.
I thought I
Do
had
the
it.
Sonic
I
drowning
thought I
music.
had it. God.
Oh,
Okay.
this is killing me. This is killing me.
Me too. And I'm even cheating, and I'm not
No,
even
it's not a
getting
game
it yet.
within a game. It's its own game.
Oh,
we already ruled out Battlezone, Mako, and Frosty. Nihilus Ryan says Warzone isn't their vehicles, but yeah, you can't use the aim controller in this game.
in a fucking vehicle.
Damn, this was way harder than I thought it was gonna be.
In a
Sorry.
vehicle. What?
I should have gone a little. I should have gone with an easier one.
I don't see any game in your hidden gems where you're in a vehicle.
This is
I said it's in the video.
Oh, you use a clip of it? You didn't call it a... You fucker! I will kill you.
Yeah, you know what? We only have one.
Wait.
We only have one left, right?
I think I might know what it is. Oh, wait, no, you said you can't play with your friends, so it's not Stardust Odyssey. You got me for a second there.
So,
Stardust Odyssey.
yeah, people are saying end space in the comments, and I need to know if this actually works for everything. Can you use a HOTAS for end space?
You can use a HOTAS on end space. Yeah, you can use the HOTAS on end space. I've done it.
Okay, so it's not end space, guys. It's the vehicle one.
Damn, I didn't even think this was the hardest one I had.
Oh, wait. Are you... Oh, I know what it is. I found it. Okay. Do we have a question left, or can I just... Do I have
one
to guess?
question left.
We're on number 20.
Are you underwater? Are you underwater?
Wait. Hold on a second. We have...
I know the game, I think.
This is the 20th question? This is the 20th one?
This is the 20th one.
Then we have to guess. This is our
Neptune
guess.
Flux. Neptune Flux.
It is Neptune Flux.
Got him!
By cheating. Like, yeah, no, you gave us that was way too much.
I wanted to put Neptune Flux in the list. Like, it deserves to be there. Neptune Flux is such a great underwater exploration adventure game, and it's super
awesome.
chill. It was my first review I ever did.
Wait, hold on. Somehow we crashed again. All right, I think we're back up. All right, there we go.
All right,
great timing on that one, guys. As soon as we say goodbye, we say goodbye.
My Kelly VR says, "Oh, I like Neptune Flux actually." Yeah. Spacey VR Gamer says, "Boo, too hard."
I like Twitcher and Virtual Strangers. Yeah, I never fucking heard of this game.
Yeah,
so
here's why I wanted to bring it up.
See, here's the deal. Like, you know, when they do this on GameScoop, it takes them 10 questions just to nail down the platform. And so I do like that these are deep cuts because we've got an extra 10 questions. We already know what platform it's on. And so I don't mind the deep cuts. It makes us really think. And I think that before GamesCast now, I'm going to have to like scan through like every review I've ever done, or just like kind of take a look at the PlayStation store and just like refresh my memory about all the games that we've talked about over the last 5 years.
Well, that was the first pick that I've had, so I know now that maybe I don't have to go that tough with it.
If you hadn't given us the hint, we would have been screwed. We were about to hang ourselves with that rope.
But it was tough, but I respect it. Absolutely.
For sure.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, you guys, we're running a little bit long, so thank you all so very much for hanging out with us. We will definitely see you back here again on Wednesday. I'm going to be working behind the scenes on my Layers of Fear review, but again, make sure you go check out that stream. Also, while you're at it, go check out what Dave's doing over on Dave Station VR. I know you did some Resident Evil streams, and what was the most recent thing? I saw something pop up. Was that it? Resident Evil again?
Boy, what a good question. What have I been up to? No,
are you checking your own page to find out?
No, I did Wraith. And that was particularly unhinged. That was like a classic drunk stream where I just leaned into it.
Yeah, now let's run absolutely Wednesday show. Like I played through all of Layers of Fear today, but these guys haven't had a chance to do that yet. So they're gonna get through that game, and then Wednesday's show will be pretty much devoted to a Layers of Fear review discussion. That's going to be a pretty big topic on Wednesday. So make sure you come back for that. And
I got that video out 10 minutes before this show, so I'm relaxing for the night.
Right. Yeah. AJ's got a couple new videos up on his channel, hidden gems and things to look forward to for the rest of this year, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So make sure you go subscribe over on PlayStation PSVR Underground. PSVR Underground. Guys.
Meow Meow is suggesting a very good permanent question that we ought to ask during 20 questions, which is it a game no one else has ever heard of? I think that's a great question.
I think we'll get the hang of this eventually, man. We're going to be able to get really good at this. But I enjoy playing it, and I love the chat being here to hang out and help us out at the same time. Because man, we didn't get it, or we wouldn't have got it without AJ's help. But man, I think we would have been even further away without the chat. So. But thank you guys. Talk to me.
Quick thing before we go.
Yeah.
I did say I wanted to do a should we, shouldn't we. This is like a 10-second should we, shouldn't we.
Okay.
I'll just explain the concept. I've been playing chess, and I was like skeptical. I was like, I used to be in chess club, but like I haven't played chess in forever.
Sure.
Chess kicks ass, man. I love chess. I'm going to buy a fancy chessboard. I'm going to get one that's like, I already found this one's like Dinotopia, like handcrafted dinosaurs and hand painted. It looks really nice.
My should is the new Offspring album. Check out the new Offspring album. They're posting.
How come
songs
yours is so nerdy, AJ? Come up with something cool like chess.
So-
Bro. Jeez.
Stuff you in a locker, Dave.
yeah.
So chess, should we? And then an offspring, should we? Also, shout out to Aaron Levy who just subscribed. We never get these little notifications. I love it, man. Sometimes when this thing works, it's great, and then sometimes it doesn't work and we crash. So sorry for that, and yay for the stuff that works right. Cool, guys. You all have a great night, and I think we should cue the cat. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Cue the cat, because I want to say goodbye, good night, happy Monday. Hopefully you made it a little bit better. To make a VR, Nihilus Ryan, the Game Feline, Nick Bueller, the Game Cat, Cornerstone City 777, Duralog Shadows, Kramer 3K. What up, homie? Kramer in the house tonight. Steve IRE, Nike Alexandria, the Game Cat. I don't know why I always say Nike. Old Darth has the high ground. Johnny Rap out the Straight Cat, Trusty Mod in the house. Kyle, PSVR Work Gaming, Shades of Gray Matter, Twitcher, the single player Game Cat, Blue Jew, the underground Game Cat. Elite Name Squad in the house. Genetic Blasphemy. Kyle PSV, Ben Dawson says adios, amigo. Peter Cordova, Rody the Game Cat. What up, Rody? You stay frosty. Delirium Drew VR. Bob Zarkoff, the underground Dave Station Game Cat. Another Elite Name Squad in the house. Virtual Strangers. Shout out to Wes and Roots. I remembered this time. Roots. Welsh Boy UK 76. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Double for the license to be out, Game Cat. Meow 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 meow. Zach Lightning. GC13 to die. Pepsi Cat. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Decepticon GG player. Johnny No Pockets to AKA Who Dat. Game Cat. Spacey VR Gamer. Thank you so much. Distracted Game Cat. Thank you so much, guys. You have a wonderful rest of the night.
Your long shadows.
You,
Your
Seymour
long
Game Cats, and the Wolf Craze.
Bob, yeah, I mean, you have 5 more seconds here.
God.
Your long shadow says my should we buy quality socks, spend some cash on them. They are comfy. And then Twitcher says, I love bamboo fiber socks. Trust me, they rock.
Are we talking about socks?
That's their should we. They like good socks.
Bamboo fiber socks.
I've never heard of them, but I'll buy a pair.
Whatever happened to nonprofit socks? Remember nonprofit socks?
Oh yeah,
Free
man.
socks. Free socks.
Yeah, maybe he started making profit and sold out.
Sold out. All right. We love you guys. Have a good night.